How you doing, class? I just wanted to check in. Um, Thank you all for getting your papers in. Um, so this week we're working on the parts of speech, subjects, verbs, direct objects, indirect objects, um, looking at linking verbs versus action verbs. Action verbs have the direct objects, indirect objects, whereas linking verbs do not. So I apologize. I asked you all to complete 4.1 and 2. That's a lot of work. So for tonight, just do 4.2. So this was my announcement. I just wanted to read it aloud. Also, I scaled back 4.3 a little bit so that when you're writing, you're identifying 5 different sentence types, not 10, although you can do 10 for extra credit on, and that assignment is going under the papers category. So that may be an incentive for you a little bit. We're having an assessment on Over Ed Inc. on parts of speech and parts of sentence on Friday. So I will be available tomorrow, June 30th, for extra help on Google Hangout, so we can talk through some grammar. Early on, kind of in this week, though, I wanted to send this video out just to review some basic things. So just to kind of go over 4.1, and if need be, we'll review 4.2 also tomorrow. But I just wanted to go over these parts A and B. So identifying the simple subject, main word or word group, and I find it easier to just identify rather than the compound subject, just the simple subject, which I know will be agreeing with the main verb, right? And so part of the independent clause, or what makes the independent clause, will be just that subject and verb. So you don't necessarily need an object, right, or an indirect object, but just a subject and a verb will make up a complete sentence. So I just wanted to go through 4.1 and also touch on some things that we'll be anticipating, and some of which you guys have already worked on for 4.2. So Ravi Shankar was instrumental in popularizing Indian music in the West. Okay, so Shankar is our subject, right? And was would be the verb, right? So who was instrumental, right? Shankar, that's his complete name. Was what? Was instrumental. Okay. In anticipating the assignment for tomorrow, for later tonight, okay, we got to remember the linking verbs. So this is one of those linking verbs, was. And so when it's a linking verb, it's not a direct object. It's not being acted upon. Okay, this would just be a subject complement, we'll call it. Okay, there's subcategories of that, but we won't get into that. The other thing to keep in mind is we really need to pay attention to prepositions in popularizing Indian music in the West. Okay, the subjects, the main verbs, okay, the subject complements or indirect objects, okay, are not going to be part of the prepositional phrases. We'll talk more in depth about prepositions, but think of it just as the words that follow the prepositions. Okay, so these are extraneous. So the core of the sentence is Ravi Shankar was instrumental. Okay, that's the skeleton. Okay, so let's see how it works in the next couple. Dachshund is another linking verb. Dog. Okay, only would be an adjective. Okay, in the world, in is a preposition, with is a preposition, for is a preposition, and in. Okay, so the rest of this, again, is just extraneous. Not always going to be this nice and easy for us, but Dachshund is dog is the core skeleton of the sentence. Okay, next one. Line headed line would be the subject. Okay, long is an adjective. Of ants, prepositional phrase. Okay, so this subject, it's not the ants that headed, although that would make sense. It's the line headed. And there is no direct object here. Directly is an adverb. Toward is a preposition. Okay, walking is a verbal. We'll talk about that later, but it's a noun that looks like a verb. Is a linking, and it's not walking is cheap, but instead it's walking is a form. Okay, cheap is an adjective. Of exercise, prepositional phrase, it's extraneous. Okay, unnecessary. Ball, subject, sailed is the verb. Okay, and then over is a prepositional phrase, over the fence. So that is extraneous. Okay, so this one has no direct object or indirect object. Okay, I'm going to go through these others quickly. Okay, Anna and Lyle. So we've got two subjects. Okay, and then will sing is the verb phrase. Okay, we talked about those a little bit where, right, this is the future tense. So will sing, we've got a helping verb there with will. Okay, and then in the talent show is a prepositional phrase. Okay, next one, pieces originated. That's it. Boxes were is the helping, were threaded. Then we got to look all the way over here, and served. So these need to be in agreement. Boxes were threaded, and we might be tempted to say and serving, right? But that would be incorrect. That would be, we'll talk about that later, false parallelism. Natsuki held boxes. Subject, verb, direct object. Boxes, Natsuki. Became is one of those linking, right? Past form of become. And then obsolete would be our subject complement. All right, so just as an anticipation for 4.2, if you haven't done that yet, or if you've done that already, please just check out this video or review this video and make sure that you do tonight's homework 4.2 correctly. And use this as a study guide for the test on Friday. Thanks very much.